colour of coffee cream. Then she'd undo the buttons on her blouse, her fingers lingering over each one, until she'd revealed breasts practically spilling out of the tiniest wisp of lace imaginable in matching coffee cream. And she wanted to watch his face while she did it. She zeroed in on his face now, holding her breath and waiting for her cue, aching to play out that fantasy. His lips opened, lean and firm, and the breath hitched in her throat. Thick, hot yearning tumbled through her. This man was all she'd ever dreamed of and more. Last night had revealed that to her in undeniable glory. They'd moved together with an accord that had been more than physical. Last night had been the most wonderful night of her life, when Alex's passion and gentleness and generosity as a lover had touched her soul. Words emerged from those lean lips of his. Kit relished their black coffee timbre, savoured their resonance, and drew in deep breaths of his dark malt scent. She'd caught a trace of that scent on her sheets this morning. She'd placed those sheets in the washing machine with a faint sense of regret before she'd left for work. She'd cheered herself with the thought that it'd take more than laundry powder and water to wash those memories away. Of course, there were all those new memories they'd make too, and Kit! The staccato whip of Alex's voice hauled her out of her thoughts. It hit her then that she'd been so busy relishing and savouring that she hadn't taken in a single word he'd said. "I'm sorry." She glanced down the length of her nose at him in as cheeky a fashion as she dared. "I was a million miles away." It took an effort of will to hold back her smile. He let out a breath and glared. She blinked and sat back with a frown. What on earth had she missed? Had something gone awry with the Dawson deal? The deal Alex had been chasing for the last 8 months? The deal that they'd clinched, and then, in their elation... He leant forward and his glare intensified. "Do I have your full attention?" She swallowed. "Yes?" "I was saying that what happened last night was unfortunate and regrettable." Each word was clipped out with precision, short, sharp, unmistakable. Barbs, bayonets slashing at her. Kit flinched and half lifted an arm as if to ward them off. "No!" His mouth grew straighter, grimmer. "I'm sure you agree." Unfortunate? Regrettable? Her stomach tumbled in sudden confusion. How could he say that? Last night had been wonderful. "I beg your pardon?" She prayed he wouldn't repeat it. She prayed she'd heard him wrong. He held her gaze. Unlike her, he didn't flinch. He looked cold, hard, alien. "This time, I believe you heard what I said. And that you understand exactly what I mean." The room spun. She gripped the edge of her chair and hung on tight, praying her sense of balance would return and halt this sensation of endless freefall. A denial sprang to her lips as the room and Alex swam back into her line of sight. He was wrong! She released her iron grip on her chair. "Let me get this right." Her hands trembled. Perspiration gathered beneath the collar of her shirt, beneath the underwire of her bra. "You're saying you wish last night never happened?" The perfectly monitored air-conditioned air chilled the skin at her throat, at her nape, of her bare-but-for-nylons legs. She resisted the urge to chafe her arms. "But you regret last night?" "That's exactly what I'm saying." She stared into his face. Cold, hard, the face of a stranger. And greyness leached in at the edges of her consciousness, swamping her joy, blanketing her in a thick fog that her mind struggled to think through. The air-conditioning chilled a layer of ice around her heart, numbed her brain, and robbed her eyes and mouth of all natural moisture. She'd never realized before how much she hated air-conditioning. Beyond Alex, through the floor-to-ceiling plate-glass window, morning light glinted off the white sails of the Sydney Opera House with an absurd gaiety that was reflected in 1,000 different points of light.